Hello everyone, my name is Phiona Mbowa here at Church of Uganda Family TV with Ring Diaries, where we talk about anything and everything to do with marriage. We bring you real people to share real experiences so that we learn from them. I keep telling us we don't need to get to have the mistakes so that we know that we can learn from it. Yes, there are people who have gone through the same journeys. So if we can learn from them, we can even start at a higher level than where they started. And that's what Ring Diaries is here for, to share experiences. I tell you also, there's no expert in marriage. The 20-year-old, the 1-year-old, we all have different experiences and we can all learn from each other. So this evening, I'm privileged to be hosting Atwine Owen. You're very welcome.
Thank
Owen
you.
has been married for 8 years and a bit of an expert. The 8 years is a long time, but yes. And we are here to discuss about foxes in our marriages. Owen, what a topic. What are foxes, first of all? And you're
Thank
very
you.
welcome for the show.
Thank you,
I'm happy
Fiona.
to have you here.
I'm happy to be here also.
Yes. So, what are foxes? Or who are foxes?
Foxes in marriage. Foxes in marriage are those little, small, seemingly insignificant issues
Okay.
that damage the intimacy, the love, and the marriage as well.
Okay.
They are very small, they seem small, but they damage.
They seem small to one party, yet the other
One
person
party.
feels.
Yet the other person feels the impact of when it is happening.
Okay.
So maybe I can give you an example.
Yes, please.
We have a fox like bitterness, a fox like ignorance, there is a fox like anger, a fox like ingratitude. Have you ever met someone who is not, he does not appreciate in life?
Like year in, year out, they
Year
don't
in out, you
appreciate.
give a gift, that person does not appreciate. And the other person who has given is dying inside of her or him.
You mean someone can get a gift and they are not?
I'm telling you, people get gifts and it is taken for granted. Some of them you can give them, put it on the table, on the bed, and he forgets to thank the one who created the surprise for the gift.
Oh,
And you know, when it is part of the ladies, you know, us men sometimes
you forget.
you forget. Someone
What
sends
have
you
you
a gift,
forget?
he has put a lot of things, and then she's just eagerly waiting
For the response.
for the response. And the night
that-
passes, and then you can even remember tomorrow.
Or she first has to remind.
I supposed to remind you, did you see the gift? Oh,
That is very
that
bad.
is very, very bad. Now the intimacy someone has put in to create that moment dies away. So those are the foxes I'm talking about. Yes.
So, I think, okay, I need us to elaborate on some of those things. You talked about ignorance. How is ignorance?
Ignorance actually
Fox.
is the worst fox that we have in marriage. Surprisingly, there is when you're in marriage and you don't know what to do.
What do you mean?
Ignorance is when you don't know what to do. You don't know that when someone gives you a gift, you're supposed to appreciate. You don't know that when someone comes home, you're supposed to welcome that person, give a gift, or give a glass of juice. For you, you take things for granted that he has come, you're busy with the children. And these husbands are very interesting.
But you know, ignorance is not an. They call it ignorance is what?
It's not a defense. It's not a defense. So if you're caught in a case because you are ignorant, you cannot defend yourself that I am ignorant. So many couples are in marriage, but they don't know what to do. They are in marriage, they don't know that they are supposed to do certain things. And there is also like maybe someone you're in marriage and you have those eating habits. You know, they also focus on eating the way you eat. Have you ever seen someone who eats when opening the mouth?
Yes.
How does it feel?
And that bothers the spouse.
The other person. But when you don't know that actually something is happening in your marriage.
So back to ignorance. How do we cure that?
Ignorance, you cure it by research. You have to learn from different couples, from different homes. When you visit a home, learn something there. If you're internet, don't be on TikTok only and you're enjoying funny stuff. Try to learn something about marriage. How do you please your spouse? you have to learn certain things. You cannot be in marriage and you're only doing things that you know, because no one was born knowing. Everyone who knows put in something to learn.
But also we are different.
Yes.
What you may know may not work for me actually.
And that's what I'm talking about, that you also have to study your spouse. You know, Fiona doesn't like surprises. Every time you surprise her,
She gets annoyed.
she gets annoyed.
But
So
I
what
don't
do you do?
understand that.
What do you do? You know, now Fiona, for her, I will tell her, by the way, today is your birthday, I'm taking you out. I'm taking you in at Serena. And that is it. But then annoying her every time it is her birthday and you're in
She's
quarrels.
angry. But actually, now that
you're angry.
you know, most people are very unhappy on their birthdays and anniversaries because of something like that you've said.
Exactly. Because they don't know. Some people, the truth is, people are in marriage because, as you say, there's no expert in marriage. No wonder we get certificates before we enter.
Yes.
Meaning that when you're there, you're supposed to put in, try to research. How do you make a woman happy? How do you make a man happy? Go and ask the singers. Go and ask your friends. You know, there are some marriages that we admire. If they are happy, can you learn something from them? Otherwise, sometimes we are doing things unknowing our spouses unknowingly. And by the time you know, because these foxes, Fiona, what they damage most, they damage the love, they damage the intimacy, they damage romance. And when a marriage loses intimacy and love, it is out.
That's true.
Talk about
So
bitterness.
Ignorance is that big. I'm actually quiet because I've never thought that ignorance was that big until you started talking. I'm realizing most of the things we do actually we don't know.
You don't know.
You end up making a mistake.
You look at the years you've been married. You look at the mistakes you've been making. And now that you've overpassed them and you're like, what was wrong with me? If I had known that my husband is this or likes this, or if I had known. Do you know that some ladies are in marriages and they don't know that smartness does for us men? We are outside there admiring other women who are smart.
Really?
You are at home, you don't know that, for us men, we want to live
Your
like
vision.
kings
Yes.
at home. Me, like my wife knows, I like my bedroom smart. The bed should be laid. Now, if you don't know that, and someone else does it for me,
Stop threatening us, Owen. Shut. Leave us alone. No, but I get what you're saying.
I'm just giving you the points to know that even those who are not born again, for them they have excuses like, I am bored here, so let me find where I have peace.
Where can I have peace?
Now for us
But
who are
yet
born
it's just
again,
ignorance.
it's just ignorance. Someone
So
doesn't
we need to give
know.
no, I guess our viewers today we need an assignment this Christmas period, and the beautiful thing is around this season at least most of us are at home at least for a few days or more.
Yes.
Can you learn 2 things that you don't know about your spouse? And spouses, please help us. Tell us, because I'm actually realizing how big a problem it is.
Yes.
And how many things we'd avoid if we would actually
If we would research. Actually, Fifi, even in our professionals, a person who researches, who finds something new, is always promoted, is always better.
Yes.
You can't be on a job and you not add value. You must research. Even marriages are assignments. We are assigned to make you happy, to make me happy. We can't be in marriages and we are doing the same thing year out. You must find something. In other words, we have the problem, we don't give time to our marriages. So you need to go out and find out what this lady has not seen. Because like the Bible says, what eyes have not seen, what ears have not heard, what hands have not touched. People are always interested in seeing something new.
Wow.
So if you're not doing something because you don't know, it is affecting someone. And by the way, it's actually interesting in the Fifi, someone is expected that you know.
We don't think that you don't know. We think
Exactly.
you're just refusing to do it.
Me, when
It's as simple as laying a bed. Why can't you lay the bed?
what can't you lay the bed?
Yet I actually don't know.
And that's a problem with our parents. Some of them have not trained us enough. That when a husband comes home, you treat him like this.
He wants to be treated as a king.
Exactly. Because you don't know
Oh, and
the
now I need
marriage
to meet
is
your wife because
the marriage is failing
because of
because
something
you
else.
don't know. And if you knew, and actually knowing is simple, we have so many avenues of knowing, of gathering knowledge from friends. The problem, actually, there's another fox I can maybe tell you of bad company. Having bad company is also another fox. So you are tapping from wrong company. Who are telling you, I don't respect your wife. You don't, those things we don't do them.
You're going back at this
You're going
time
at this
to
time
do what?
to do what?
Real men stay out until
Aha.
late.
But a real man is not a person who goes home late. A real person is the one who makes things right. Even when you go home late, you should have a reason. Or you should communicate. Another company will tell you, I don't need to communicate. Men don't communicate.
Men are not like that. You just show up.
By the time you know your wife is losing out, and then you go out and then you want to make love, the person has already lost the intimacy. What happens? Divorce, separation. And then you call us to pray for you. Me, I've told couples in my church.
You shouldn't pray for things that you can
Actually,
do.
Fiona, I head the department of marriage in my church.
Nice. Interesting. Which church is that?
Holy Spirit Fire Church.
Okay.
And I have always told them that there are things we don't pray for. There are things we do.
That you shouldn't spend a
shouldn't
night
spend a time
praying
of
when you
praying.
can just go home early.
You correct things. If you're dirty, please make the place clean. And then you shall have peace. Now we go and pray for you because
to
you
become
cannot clean the
clean.
place. So ignorance is as big as that. Because even the Bible says, Fiona, in the book of Hosea 4:6, that
And
my people perish because they lack knowledge. Not because they don't pray.
But because they lack knowledge.
They lack knowledge.
But now, Owen, if you're my husband, I am your wife, we've been together for years, why wouldn't I know you? Know what you like, what you don't like.
And some people don't they take things for granted. One. Two, some people don't care. They think things will just work out
They'll
themselves.
just work out
Yes,
themselves.
but this marriage is investment. You
But people
must
don't know.
invest.
Actually, people don't know that marriage takes a lot of work.
It takes a lot of work, and by the way, that's why even if when you're going to become a president, the first thing they ask you, where's your wife?
Where's your wife?
Meaning the first government is marriage. If you can't handle marriage, you can't handle the Republic of Uganda. You cannot.
Wow.
So meaning it is something that you must invest in to gather knowledge so that you're not caught unaware. Make things as you know. And then trust me. Actually making wives happy and husband is small stuff.
Okay. So, then bitterness. We talked about ignorance, and I feel like I've left so many question marks, but bitterness. How is it a fox?
One time I dated a girl I was going to marry for 4 years.
What? And you didn't marry them?
I didn't marry.
4 years?
One person like this.
4 years,
I was
Owen.
serious. I wanted to marry. But things didn't work out. But what I remember in the life of that girl up to now, I remember bitterness. For her, you go out, you have issues to sort out. There is no time we went out and we are happy.
You're having fun.
It is issue that time you did this, that time you did this, that time you did this. Ever at home, she will find something to care about. I think she had bitterness, unresolved issues. I think from maybe home. So living with such a person. So I ended up getting tired of the relationship. It became like a court, court where you have case number one,
you're always
case number two.
a lawyer.
You're always a lawyer in your marriage, in your relationship, Fiona. Men,
Now
you don't want
imagine
to
a
be.
marriage like that.
Just imagine you're in a marriage where you have issue, case after case. So the person is
Isn't
bitter.
that bad? There's a friend who told me that he was defending himself for doing something very stupid. And like you people, I'm always defending myself. It is actually that bad.
Yes. And even bitterness goes beyond even that. You find children, that when they start something small, instead of correcting them, you beat them up. You've seen men where when they arrive home, everyone scatters. They have bitterness. I had a friend of mine who was very bitter. I don't know what happened. A child does something, he would beat them like thieves. Then we realized there was a problem.
That's a problem.
There's some bitterness. And that one, if you're in marriage with that person,
What? How
you run away.
you run out because now.
Unnecessary anger. Unnecessary anger. You can't enjoy marriage. Marriage is supposed to be for love, peace, intimacy, romance, as things move on. Because even when you get trials and tests, when you're not in peace, in love, in intimacy, you'll easily fall. But when you're intimate, whatever comes will just pass by. So bitterness is very, very bad, Fiona.
And how do we handle bitterness?
Bitterness, one, first of all, you need to first give yourself a meeting. You sit yourself down.
You call yourself
You
to
call
order.
yourself to order and know. Because every time you're bitter, someone is
It
it affects someone. Because when you see, by the way, they are men, you see in bars.
Because they can't stand
They
being
can't
at
go
home.
home early. They want to find when maybe the wife has slept. That's how it goes.
That's miserable.
That's miserable. And there's a man I was meeting at Grand Imperial. He's an old man. At 9 he's still taking one beer like this. 10, 11. And we discovered this man had issues at home. I was like, let me go.
Instead of going and they shout at me, let me stay here.
Because this person who is bitter, he will find any problem in you. You come late, she will quarrel. You come early, she will not. So now why are you early today?
Real men are there working for you here, Kali.
So which means now your women have not appeared today. Someone is bitter. But someone who is happy, when you come late, she will give you a hug. Someone who is happy, when you come early, she will welcome. She's excited. Actually, when you come late, she will even ask you, is there any problem?
Are you okay?
Are you okay? And then you will explain and say, oh, it's fine. Even if you're not okay, she will give you a hug. Things will work out. And now someone who is bitter, imagine you're supposed to kiss that person. This is marriage. You're supposed to make love that person. And what is in your mind is the words, a million words she has spoken in 1 hour as you arrived home. You know, for us men, things that cut us off are very small. You're already off. And now you have a secretary at home, at office who welcomes in the morning as like, oh,
you're welcome.
You're welcome.
And you're
Your
like,
tea.
hey.
Do you mind tea today?
And you're like, not minute.
So you begin comparing.
and that is, which is a problem.
So I'm telling women that actually men don't like quarreling, blames, case after case.
Even the Bible says it's better to live on top of a roof
Exactly.
than in a house with a nagging word. Like imagine, like the top of the roof is actually better.
So that's a very bad fox. That's a very bad fox. Then there is ingratitude.
And that one, yes. I'm trying to understand. Okay, I think for me, I like receiving gifts. So I easily get excited with. I'm imagining someone gives me a gift and I don't say, thank you.
Mama, people do
How?
that. People do that. People do that. So you do things, you try, but someone does not see appreciation.
Maybe you're trying with wrong things, as you said. Maybe I don't like gifts and you keep bringing me
There is no wrong gift.
I know.
There is no wrong gift. And actually understand the idea behind when someone is doing something. If it's your birthday and someone organizes like a surprise for you, understand the idea. This person loves.
He has thought about you.
He has thought about you. That should be the thing. Even when it is not in a good place that you liked, but at least appreciate the idea.
Like you brought me here for my birthday.
The next time I would think of, okay, if he has appreciated now and I'm here, the next time it will be monyonyo. You keep thinking hard because this person appreciates. There is a lady I work with. She's a daughter to my boss. One time, I gave her 20,000. She appreciated. And this is the daughter of the boss. Now, I just I liked from then I liked giving her.
Owen.
There is even one time. There's even one time we made a deal with my boss, and I told her, but you know what? She also deserves something. And then my boss was also a bit stingy, so I made sure I looked.
I hope he's not watching.
I gave her around some sums of money. Rita had to jump into my office, gave me a very big
Screaming.
hug, screamed. Why am I saying this? She's a daughter of the boss. Why
But
would
yet she's
she
appreciating.
appreciate all this much? And why am I talking about it now? Because it caught my attention. It should be the same thing in marriage. When you appreciate 20,000, I will give you $1 million. When you appreciate a birthday gift of a cup, next time I will think of giving you a car. That's how things come. A person who does not appreciate, who doesn't
Hard
feel
to
gratitude,
gi-
it's hard to
intercede,
give.
what is
Actually,
that?
obivako, you just leave. You know, after all, you don't appreciate.
But now there are some people who say, for me, I'm just not easily excited.
And that's why the problem is. At least you show appreciation. You can write, send me a message. You type and say, okay, you read, okay, I can say appreciation in this. I will know my wife is not a person who will jump, who will laugh and appreciate. But at least I should feel
Appreciated.
appreciated.
And I think also marriages, we end up taking each other for granted.
That's what the problem is. If you take someone for
He
granted
brings you a
in
flyer
your
like,
marriage,
it's what you should have done. I tell you, what were you supposed to?
someone else will appreciate it and you don't know what will happen.
Oh, when you're over-threatening me, by the way. Eh? But
Fiona,
I get
I'm
what you're
teaching you
saying.
that in marriage, we don't stop learning and we don't stop acting. We have
we
to act.
shouldn't give up on each other.
There's also another fox called words of affirmation.
Okay?
Men is actually a problem to this. They don't give words of affirmation. You're beautiful, you're nice, you're smart. Those are things to do. Actually,
I feel like Mr. Mbowa should watch this. Yeah.
a wife is putting on something nice, appreciate. Bambi, she has gone, bought it in a mirror, 20 minutes. Some spend one hour
looking
doing
at
makeup,
yourself.
doing something, and she's expecting this man to see something different. And this man looks as if he's
Nothing.
absent. And
What
then
has-
when she gets out, before she reaches even the tax, everyone is
saying,
appreciating.
Yes.
And then she thinks in her heart, does this man love me? That's where you go by the women. Does she love me?
Yes, if you loved me, you would have noticed something.
And what goes wrong is when we are together and I appreciate someone else.
Exactly. Now, you're failing to appreciate
That
me.
becomes another
You're
now,
busy
a full
appreciating
fox.
that is an actual fox that we are going to talk about also. It's a full fox that should be in a box.
Eh.
But if you are seeing someone, appreciate.
Yes. If you can appreciate someone else, why not
can't
your
you
wife?
appreciate them?
Now, let me tell you something. Haven't you seen these people? You meet a lady on the street and you say, you're very smart. I like your hair.
Just a random person.
Just a normal person.
Why?
And you sit together. No, I'm just giving you a scenario. And you sit together in a taxi because you appreciate this girl, she feels special. And the next time you say, can I have your number? And she
She'll
gives
give
out
it to you
the
without
number.
even thinking
Why?
about it.
There is power in words of affirmation. I'm just showing you that. So if there is a power in that, which means it works in your wife, it works in your husband. Me, I had issues with my wife where I do something. Maybe I've given a very good speech, and I don't hear any words of affirmation. And then the other people, one is like, wow, that was good. Like maybe you preach or you have, I'm a worshiper, I like worship. I did worship and everyone's session is nice. I don't say anything from her, but everyone is like, oh,
Wow,
that was good.
heaven.
You've touched heaven. Man,
Yeah,
you
this one is
took
like,
me.
okay.
But for her, that's like Naego. Do you have feelings, by the way? So in other words, after the service or after the speech, I am only going to these people whom I feel are going to make me stronger.
Hype
Man,
me a bit.
hype me up.
Yes.
I need to feel it. Love is about feeling. Marriage is about feeling. If you lose that, you're out.
We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to continue with these foxes. And it's amazing how simple, small
It's
things
very, very simple.
can
Tiny.
actually make our marriages fail. Don't go away. I'm Phiona Mbowa here at Church of Uganda Family TV with Ring Diaries.